Welcome back to the 17 News at Sunrise podcast, where we share your news on your schedule.
Working in the spirit of the Golden Empire, this is 17 News at Sunrise.
Good morning. Right now at 5, a tow truck driver is dead after stopping on the side of the highway to help a stranded driver. The message from CHP this morning. Separate stages and starkly different messages. On the night of what was supposed to be the second presidential debate, the candidates made their pitches in dueling town halls instead. And new developments in a decades-old sex and murder case known as the Lords of Bakersfield. Why a man convicted in the case just out of prison is suing the county. This is Friday, October 16th, 2020. Good morning. It is 5 a.m. Good to have you with us. I'm Maddie Jansen, anchoring here at home. Taylor Schaub and Kevin Schratt holding down the fort in the studio this morning. And it is finally Friday, and I think we're all ready for a little bit of a cool down this weekend. Taylor?
Yeah, Maddie, I'm jealous of you. You get to be in Tehachapi all weekend. It's going to be a little cooler there, but we are pushing the 90s once again here in Bakersfield as we send things over to Kevin Schratt with a look at your morning and weekend forecast.
Yeah, definitely not going to be seeing a cool down heading into the weekend, a little bit warmer, and unfortunately even heading into next week when we thought we might see that nice cool down. We'll get to that a little later. Let's take you outside right now and show you what we've got to start off our Friday morning. 64 degrees on the temperatures. No winds to talk about. We definitely have some haze out there. Visibility at 8 miles. And as we take a look at the overall hour-by-hour forecast for you today, and we are going to continue to see that haze in the forecast, but temperatures are going to be a little bit warmer as well. 70 degrees by 9 a.m., and then you can see 93 by 3 o'clock. As we take a look at the mountains, starting out in the 50s this morning, so a little bit warmer. Remember, yesterday we were seeing some 40s. We've got a southeast wind at 10 right now, and as we take a look at the hour-by-hour forecast, upper 60s by 9 a.m., and then we'll look for some lower 80s this afternoon. I'll have much more in your pinpoint forecast that's coming up in just a bit.
All right, thanks, Kevin. First this morning in New to Sunrise, a tow truck driver is dead after being struck by a vehicle while he was standing on the side of the rope to help another driver. It happened just before 10 last night on the shoulder of the northbound Highway 99, just south of Loomis Avenue in Delano. The California Highway Patrol says the man was assisting a stranded driver and was standing outside his tow truck when he was hit by another driver in an SUV. CHP says they think drugs and alcohol may be a factor. The man's identity was not released, and there's been no word on any arrests right now. CHP says it's important to keep safety in mind when it comes to stopping on the freeway.
Please avoid stopping on the freeway for any reason. Emergency stops only to avoid things like this in the future.
Investigators say they are also looking for the driver of a white sedan that may have been involved in or a witness to the crash.
And now to new developments surrounding the so-called Lords of Bakersfield, the now infamous sex and murder case from the 1980s. 17 News has learned the Los Angeles attorney for a central figure in the case has filed a claim against Kern County. Samuel Derillian filed the claim on behalf of Robert Mistriel, who was released from prison in 2019 after serving 38 years for the murder of Kern County's Personnel Director Ed Buck, with whom he had an alleged sexual relationship. Mistriel and another man were convicted of murdering Buck in 1983.
At my last parole hearing in 2019, the parole commissioner finally acknowledged that I was in fact the victim of childhood trafficking, and under those circumstances kind of understood what I did, though didn't condone it.
In the claim, Mistriel says his county probation officer failed to protect him after he told her about the alleged abuse by Buck and others. Probation officer Sally Rockholt, now retired, testified in 1983 that Mistriel, then a 17-year-old minor, had in fact informed her of the alleged abuse by the county executive. The county has rejected Mistriel's claim, according to Derillian. He said he can file an actual lawsuit against the county 6 months from the date of the claim, which was filed September 30th, and intends to do so.
A long time coming for him to get some form of justice. He's not going to get the kind of justice that he wants, put these people away, but this is the second best.
17's Robert Price will have much more on this case and the claims against Kern County coming up tonight at 5. And a man convicted in a deadly shooting faced his victim's mother in court yesterday. We had no cameras inside, but 17's Jason Katowski was there for the sentencing of David Campos. Campos shot 22-year-old Jesse Alvarez near the intersection of East 3rd and Whitlock Streets back in May. Alvarez's mother told Campos she's haunted by nightmares of her son's death. Campos was sentenced to 14 years in prison. He's facing several felony charges, including second-degree murder. Those were dropped after he pleaded no contest to voluntary manslaughter. A woman accused of dragging a small dog from an electric scooter is due back in court today. Last month, the Kern County judge took under consideration a motion to reduce the animal cruelty charge for Elaine Rosa. Her attorney arguing the incident should not be considered a felony and that it was an accident that resulted in minor injuries to the dog. Her trial was pushed back to October 26th. Today, Rosa is due in court for a readiness hearing. The dog, named Zebra, received medical treatment, including staples in its leg.
In education news now, Garces Memorial High School announced its plans to bring students back to the classroom. Garces administrators say the campus will be back open on August 28th, or October 28th, I should say. The school says students and staff have to follow safety measures. That includes temperature checks before each class period and masks at all times. Garces says distance learning will still be an option for families that aren't comfortable placing their kids back in school. You can find more information on their reopening plan on Garces' website, garces.org. And Garces also held a barbecue fundraiser yesterday, bringing in more than $45,000. In years past, the campus was packed with people enjoying a delicious dinner. But because of COVID-19, this year's event was a little different. The Holy Smoke Barbecue was a drive-through only barbecue this year, and the turnout was still big, with over 900 meals sold. Cal State Bakersfield is honoring some of its most remarkable alumni as the university continues to celebrate its 50th anniversary. They are accepting nominations for the CSUB Hall of Fame, which recognizes and celebrates alumni who are doing extraordinary work in their career fields. This is CSUB's 15th year honoring the best of Cal State. If you'd like to nominate someone who makes our community better, go to csub.edu/alumni.
AGET Business Watch is brought to you by Grapevine MSP Technology Services, the Valley's leading IT service provider.
Welcome back in your 17 Business Watch now. Despite a global pandemic, economic uncertainty, and a looming election, baby boomers say they're confident about retirement. Charles Schwab conducted a survey and found 84% of respondents anticipate their quality of life in retirement will be better than that of their parents. 4 out of 5 believe their quality of life in retirement will be better than that of their children, and nearly 2/3, 65%, say they would rather spend their money in retirement than leave an inheritance for their children. And Gen Z and millennials are more likely than baby boomers to say COVID-19 will impact their Halloween plans this year. But despite the pandemic, Halloween is coming, and according to data from Retail Me Not, Americans are showing less interest in most types of Halloween candy this year. But chocolate still remains the preferred type. Reese's Peanut Butter Cups and M&M's are the most preferred Halloween candy, followed by Kit Kat, Snickers, and Hershey's bars. Skittles and candy corn were the only 2 non-chocolate-based treats to make the list. Online sales this week from Amazon and other major retailers set off a very early start to the holiday shopping season. Liz McLaughlin has more on the changes this year and how to get the best deals.
Most of the traditional Black Friday crowds will be rushing online checkouts this year.
This is going to be an earlier holiday, a longer holiday, and a much more promotional holiday.
Retailers and consumers still face uncertainty about the holidays due to COVID-19.
We don't know how people behave in a pandemic when they're not traveling to their grandparents' house for Christmas. They're not going to Christmas or holiday parties.
Weeks before Halloween, retailers jump-starting the holiday shopping season with Amazon's Prime Day and competing sales from Walmart, Target, and Best Buy.
It's always a great idea to start early when you're looking at products that will have very high demand throughout the holiday season.
But it may be even more important this year, with some experts anticipating shortages and slower shipping times due to the increase in demand for online shopping.
Shopping online is convenient, but it comes with some risk. And that risk is getting the packages delivered on time and getting the packages delivered to the right place.
The hot items consumers are getting delivered are practical.
Things that are going to keep people safe at home and capable of working from home, and in some cases being educated at home.
Perhaps skipping the tacky holiday sweater this year as Santa adjusts to the new normal. Liz McLaughlin, NBC News.
Welcome back here at 522 with entertainment news. The AIS Cancer Center hosted a drive-in movie last night, offering free mammograms and breast screenings as well as entertainment. Nearly 100 people showed up to see the animated film Sing, brought to the portable silver screen at 6:30 last night in the center's parking lot on Chester Avenue, across from Adventist Health, Bakersfield. Organizers say it was a great opportunity to perform an important free health screening.
It's important to get the word out. Breast cancer is detectable early. It's the best if it's detected early, and that's by mammogram. So it's really important that women and men get mammograms, especially women, yearly after the age of 40. And if it's detected early, it improves survivorship.
Attendees were required to practice social distancing and other COVID-19 safety guidelines. Local entertainment venues are calling on you to help save our stages. They're hosting a virtual concert this weekend to raise funds. The COVID-19 pandemic has caused several independent venues to close across the nation, some of them permanently. So the National Independent Venue Association, or NIVA, created the Save Our Stages Emergency Relief Fund to support these places. The historic Fox Theater and other venues around the nation are streaming the virtual concert live today through Sunday. There will be original performances by dozens of artists. If you'd like to donate, go to saveourstages.com.
All right, thanks, Kevin. 17 News is your local elections headquarters. The Senate Judiciary Committee will vote on Judge Amy Coney Barrett's nomination to the Supreme Court Thursday. Committee Chair Senator Lindsey Graham made the announcement yesterday after some back and forth with Democrats. Senator Richard Blumenthal and Amy Klobuchar called the confirmation process a sham, while Senator Dick Durbin accused Republican members of defying the rules of the committee in the Senate. The presidential candidates are hitting the South and Midwest today after dueling town halls last night. President Trump and Democratic nominee Joe Biden hit the same issues, but not on the same stage, and most people couldn't watch both at the same time. But we did, and Tracy Potts has a recap on what you may have missed.
Taylor, good morning. Different events, different tone. Last night it was calmer up in Philadelphia with Biden, the president, in Miami, sometimes hostile to the questions he was being asked.
Well stated, I have to say. Good job.
President Trump and Democratic nominee Joe Biden both making news in their competing town halls. The president with NBC's Savannah Guthrie on losing the election.
Will you accept a peaceful transfer? And the answer is yes, I will. But I want it to be an honest election.
Vice President Biden on ABC with George Stephanopoulos on enlarging the U.S. Supreme Court.
So you'll come out with a clear position before Election Day?
Yes, depending on how they handle this.
Both candidates answered questions on coronavirus, Biden slamming the president's response.
It is a presidential responsibility to lead, and he didn't do that.
The president on testing at the last debate.
You don't know if you took a test the day of the debate.
Possibly I did, possibly I didn't.
President Trump tried to clear up concerns about race.
Are you listening? I denounce white supremacy.
And the $400 million he reportedly owes.
No, I don't owe Russia money. I don't owe, I owe a very, very small, it's called mortgages.
Yeah.
People have a house.
Any foreign bank, any foreign entity?
Biden addressed criticism about the 90s crime bill, the Green New Deal, and whether he'd mandate a coronavirus vaccine.
It depends on the state of the nature of the vaccine, when it comes out, and how it's being distributed.
Both men are set to appear on the same stage next week for the final debate in Nashville. Both candidates back to campaigning today. The president is in Georgia and then back to Florida. Biden is back to Michigan talking health care. I'm Tracy Potts, 17 News.
5:34 is your time now. We continue to profile local races leading up to Election Day. Last night, KGET hosted a live debate with two candidates for the 32nd Assembly District, incumbent Rudy Salas and his challenger, Todd Cota. They fielded questions from 17's Jim Scott at Aton Wallace.
Being a deputy sheriff for 21 years in California really opens your eyes to what happens in Sacramento and how that directly affects what we do on the ground here in law enforcement. At the end of the day, we need somebody in Sacramento who knows what it's like to be on the ground every day as a small business owner.
Know the value of hard work, and we've been able to deliver for the Valley, whether that's saving Kern Medical from going under, whether that's bringing $10 million for Valley Fever, whether that's the nearly $14 million we brought in for public safety, the $2 million we got for Bakersfield College for career technical education. You know, at the end of the day, it's about doing things for the Valley. We need to know what we're doing, what we're dealing with.
A reminder, Election Day, it's creeping up now, Tuesday, November 3rd. And Wednesday, we featured a live debate between the candidates for the 34th Assembly District. If you missed the debate with Assemblyman Vince Fong and his challenger, Julie Solis, it will replay this Sunday at 9:30 p.m. following football. It will also re-air on the CW Channel 12 Sunday at 11. Plus, you can watch it anytime on our website, kget.com. State Republicans have flouted an order from Democratic leaders to remove unauthorized ballot drop boxes scattered across the state. Democrats claim the Republican-owned ballot boxes violate state ballot harvesting laws, but Republicans disagree, saying the party won't comply with the order and they're merely providing a ballot delivery service. The Secretary of State's office says they are exploring other options and that they reserve the right to ensure the law is followed.
From our 17 follow-up file now, 2 years after body parts were found at Buena Vista Lake, we now know who they belong to. The Kern County coroner says a body found inside of a car in July was that of 63-year-old Shirley Castle. Castle's leg was actually discovered in the lake back in 2018. Castle is from Santa Ana, and according to police, she was reported missing there 3 years ago. We still don't know exactly how Castle died, but the sheriff's office says foul play is not suspected. The case has been turned over to the Santa Ana Police Department. And the coroner has released the identity of a man who was hit and killed while riding a scooter in Oildale. The coroner says Tim Miller was struck by a vehicle on Roberts Lane near the Dollar Tree around 9 o'clock Tuesday night. CHP says Miller's electric scooter didn't have enough lights or reflectors. He died the following day. Now to the latest on the coronavirus pandemic here in Kern County. Public Health announced 80 new cases yesterday. No new deaths to report, and there are still less than 11,000 people isolating in their homes, while 33 people with more serious symptoms are being treated in your local hospitals. And the Kern County Latino COVID-19 Task Force is continuing its push to bring coronavirus testing to the community. This is footage from yesterday's event outside La Mina Cantina. The goal of the task force is to help Latinos get tested, reduce COVID-19 in Kern County, and get businesses back open. They're having another test drive today at Vallarta Supermarket on East Panama Lane. It's from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. You can schedule an appointment, but walk-ups are welcome as well. Just go to kget.com for more information on how you can register.
5:38 is your time now, and throughout the month of October, we are highlighting remarkable women who've overcome breast cancer. Gabriela Vasquez was 30 years old when she discovered a lump in her left breast, but it took her nearly a year to get a diagnosis. Vasquez says because of her young age, doctors dismissed the possibility of it being breast cancer. And in that year of uncertainty, the lump metastasized from a marble to 3/4 of her left breast. Coming up at noon, 17's Nicole Gitsky will have more on how a frustrating situation turned into a positive experience. And if you or someone you know is battling breast cancer, we have a full list of resources on our website, kget.com. Well, now to some events happening around town this weekend. The Greek Food Festival is back for its third weekend. This year, the Greek Food Festival is takeout only. It's happening tomorrow at St. George Greek Orthodox Church on Truxton Avenue. Meals can be pre-ordered online, and the church also is taking walk-ups. Visit our website, kget.com, for more information. And you can't keep a good artist down. The COVID-19 pandemic is not stopping the annual Via Arte Festival from taking place this weekend. Parking spaces at the marketplace in Southwest Bakersfield will be transformed into masterworks of chalk art. The festival features dozens of local artists showing off their talents and the backstories behind their pieces. Via Arte is happening tomorrow and Sunday at the marketplace. One of my favorite things to go check out every year. Well, 'tis the season to be scary. KGET's annual Spooktacular event is happening online this year. Enter pictures of your child's Halloween costumes for your chance to win prizes from local sponsors. Prizes include a gift card to Snyder's, a laptop, tickets to Murray Family Farms, and much more. Head to kget.com and click on the Contestants tab to enter by midnight on October 27th. And then tune in to Sunrise October 30th to see who our winners are and a chance to see your costume featured on Sunrise. We can't wait to see how creative you all are.
Working in the spirit of the Golden Empire, this is 17 News at Sunrise.
The 17 News at Sunrise podcast is a production of KGET and Nexstar Media Group. For more on all of the headlines in today's show, head to kget.com.